Hello, everyone. Guys, I'm losing my mind. Earlier, I was talking to my cat, right? Boop, boop. And we have two cats. She's the bigger one. So I told her, "Hello, large one." And who should appear but the dog? I, they say cats think everything is about them, but my dog thinks everything is about her. Oh, I am not sure if I did the round of just single crochet last time, so I'll check. Okay. This is actually going to be a gift for one of my younger brothers, so I hope he really likes it. A lot of his evolutions are bigger. I'm making this small because I wasn't sure if I'd have the time to make a whole big one. But I wonder if we could say it's like a tiny Flareon, because Pokemon technically come in a lot of different sizes. I have a Miffy keychain. I think you can kind of see it from here. Hello. I like how her mouth is a little X, so I want to try and draw a character with a mouth like that eventually. I've been getting into making dolls, so hopefully I can do that on stream too. Okay, decrease time. This looks so bad on camera. I promise. This is actual pumpkin orange yarn. I don't know why the camera washes everything out, but it does, which won't bode well if I want to work with more bright colors. Maybe I could adjust my lighting. Chat, this is why it's important to have Vaseline and not for the reason you're thinking. I got a really bad hangnail the other day. I did clip it off, and it is still causing me pain every time my thumb bumps into something. It hurts. While we're here today, I wanted to tell you guys about some of the YouTubers that have inspired me. Like someone I started watching a lot this year is Chibidoki, and she's someone I kind of look up to a lot because I feel like she's a lot like me. She really likes to improvise and be witty with her chat, and one that's really funny to watch. But it's also something I do a lot is I'm always thinking like, how can I make this entertaining or how can I turn this into a kind of a joke? And she said she also has ADHD, which I do, and that it's really cool to me to see someone whose brain works similarly to me, like thriving and succeeding in the area I want to be in, which is streaming. I don't think I'm as outwardly chaotic as Chibi is, but when I watch her, I feel like I kind of recognize this chaos. You know, the chaos in me recognizes the chaos in you. Maybe that's the neurodivergence. Speaking of, I was watching Jaden Animation's most recent video, and a lot of things she talks about there are hard to relate. Like, oh, I was so on top of everything as a kid. Or it's really hard for her to like make herself sit down and do something, even if it's a thing she wants to do, like edit. Or once she gets started doing something, a lot of times then she's like locked in. She'll keep doing it for the rest of the day. Yeah, that happens to me too. Or until she started taking her medicine, a lot of times she would tell herself, "Oh, I'll message this person in a few minutes," but then not remember. And once she started taking her medicine, she remembered. Or she can lose track of time easily. It was really interesting to see all these things happening to another person, going like, "Wow, that's a real experience. That's something we share." Another person that I watch a lot and that inspires me is Randy Troy. He's a writer, so he talks a lot about the writing and his favorite things from the perspective of someone who's like on the inside, so to speak. He'll talk about like narrative structure or character motivations. And it's really cool because those are a lot of the same things I'm interested in. So it's like, cool, another geek. He's also really funny. Like, in the arms of the angels, fly away from here. Savage. Or he uses a lot of movie clips. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. Click, click. And his intros are always hilarious. I don't know how to do like high level editing stuff, but it would be really cool to have my streams and videos be as funny as his one day. Someone who I guess I wouldn't say I watch a lot because he mainly makes music, but that I listen to is Cam Steady. And even I don't listen to like every single thing he puts out, but he's someone I look to as kind of like a model in the professional sense. Like he stays very professional. He doesn't get involved in drama. He has his eyes on the prize, which is making his career the best it can be. And he focuses on that. He focuses on things like how can I title my songs in a way that will get them clicked on? what's working for musicians right now, how has it changed? Maybe things that worked in the past aren't working anymore. I'm I remember like first hearing about video game rap battles and I didn't know that it was like something he took so seriously. But it was really inspiring to me to find out that he started making videos as like a teenager and he just kept doing it. Eventually he thought, I want to really grow this into something. I don't like sure video game rap battles are fun, but they're not the only thing I want to do. I want to make this like a real career in rap. So that's what he did. And he's just been working on it for years and years, just like steadily grinding. And now he's doing like live concerts and he's thriving and it's really cool. Gotta get the stuffing real quick. Please make sure to like the stream, by the way, guys. I know you probably hear that a lot, but it is very important. Like engaging with it is what helps more people see it, and that helps me grow. I'm really curious if there's a reason why so many people with ADHD become content creators. I see it in a lot of people, like Jonathan. Well, Jonathan Young, I know he has autism. I think I was thinking of Jacksepticeye. The names both start with J. Um, there's Jaden, obviously, Tricky Lee, and I'm not a medical professional. I don't know enough to like make a guess myself, but I would be really curious to see like an actual study done. Another YouTuber who like I wouldn't want to do everything the exact same way, but someone who kind of showed me what being a YouTuber is, like the epitome of a YouTuber is Loxton and Noggin. And it was like kind of funny to me that so many of his thumbnails are like Pokemon uh thing you can't say on YouTube, but that's what works sometimes. That's what clicks. That's his income. And that's what you got to do sometimes. I don't think I would want my channel to focus entirely on just one topic, but it's really cool to me how a lot of his videos are about learning. I went through a phase last year where I watched like his entire back catalog. So I think I've watched his Hatterene video like 4 times, for example, because it's so interesting to me. And it's cool how even if it's packaged in like, click on this, you know, we need the income, you still get something really valuable out of it. You still learn something. And that's not to say like you can't be funny or irreverent or whatever. It's just it's like a positive version of like the Trojan horse, like getting people to click on something just because they go, "Oh, I recognize it," but then they learn something. Getting a needle. I should get this up beforehand. I think Iron Mouse was the one of the first VTubers I started watching. I wouldn't say there's any one VTuber who really inspired me because I watch a lot of them, but it's really cool and it's something I want to do one day. I remember distinctly I was watching Ellie and I liked how she was like really relaxed and chill. And that's when I started thinking like maybe I can do this. Maybe I don't have to take it too seriously, you know. Sometimes there's pressure to do that. I can just do this and have fun. Like I don't know if I would even have a lore video. I don't really care. Okay, there's the body. It looks so bad up close. I'm sorry, guys. I promise you this looks better in person. Now it's time for the ears. I think Jaden was one of the first YouTubers I really started watching a lot. And I don't watch her like all the time, but she was another one where I went through and watched like everything she made because I thought it was so cool. I also really like watching Cinder because she's just so kind and friendly. And it's sort of I don't I don't think I've seen like every single thing she's made. I started watching her more recently, but I really like her arts and crafts stream. That's something I'm really interested in, is just crafting on stream, like right now. So it's really cool to see someone else doing it and like succeeding. S- It's also one of the reasons why I kind of look up to onigiri. It's not the only thing I would want to do on here, but it's cool to see someone making content that's not gaming and that's not a slight against gaming. It's just not something I'm as interested in and doing really well and succeeding. It's really cool to see how many people I first watched when I like started really watching a lot of YouTube. They've grown a lot since then. They've gotten so much bigger. Like musicians have gone back and remade their old tracks, or they've made completely new ones. And I'm really, really happy for them. It's really cool. I didn't I didn't like set out to do it, but it's been amazing to get to be like a witness to the rise of YouTube music. Not like all music that's ever been on YouTube, I know that, but people like making like nerdy music like the Stipendium. Do you think that the world can ever be fixed? Is America buried yet? Exist clearly before life fails. When you stepped on from 76. Seems like we've waited forever for this. Dust off those chips and a selection of dips. Rehydrate those ancient celery sticks. Cause I'm gonna have a party to 76. Ah, hold on. I'm sorry if you can hear the various sounds in the background. I have younger siblings. I was thinking about Elden Ring recently again, as one does, and I was thinking about how I recognize a lot of little mythological or historical references, like the big snake whose name I've forgotten that wants to eat the world. That reminds me of Jormungandr. Or Godwin's status as like this perfect this this perfect man that so many people loved with long golden hair, and killing him really set off the event that changed everything. That reminds me of Baldur. And it was sort of a weird experience because I was sitting there thinking, like, there are some people that come into this and they don't have that background. Like, maybe they don't hear about it in school, or maybe they just weren't interested in it, so they might not know. It makes me wonder, like, what do people think of it then? Me and my brother were talking about Mesmer and his crusade. Yes, crusade. If you know anything about history, your eyebrow should be going up. He leaves the Golden Order, but he goes on a crusade. And Vlad the Impaler's people. What is my man doing? He's devoted to the Golden Order, but he represents everything it hates. Those are good questions to be asking. That means he's interesting, he's engaging. It's just fun to think about. I forgot how big the Eevee's ears are. I wonder if one of the reasons why Radagon didn't hang out with Melania that much is she's got red hair, and that's not her fault. It's just genetics or whatever thing he and America have going on. But, he doesn't like his red hair. He views it as a curse. So even if he kind of knows like that's not fair, maybe he was like looking at you causes me pain because I hate myself. And this reminds me of my self-hate. Everyone in this game is going through it. I've heard a couple of people, well, mostly Koseki Bijou, freak out about Ronnie's feet. That surprised me because I think more about her hands. She has 4 hands. So I was asking my brother, like, I've never seen the feet of her model because I'm not a pervert. Does she wear shoes? And he was like, actually, yes, she wears sandals. Most people in this game are barefoot. And I was like, wow, maybe, maybe people live in places where they don't see feet that often. Like maybe it's cold and you have to wear like big boots. So whenever you see a foot, it's like, oh my God, you're not supposed to show that in public. That's one ear done. I don't know why this looks blurry. I'm holding it closer to the camera to make it less blurry. I'm trying my best here, everyone. Eat the carrot. I like that you don't see Mesmer right away in the DLC, but you see things that are connected to him, like the Fireflies. That helps build him up as a presence. But even aside from the like art criticism angle, it's just really funny to me for some reason. I imagine him coming in with like a cheesy 90s movie intro, like, it's him, Mesmer, the only man to flee the Golden Order, the inspiration for Relana of the full moon, a complete mystery, Mesmer. I say a complete mystery because I'm looking at this man's body, like the lanky proportions and the color scheme, and going like, there's so many people he could be connected to. I don't think he's going to be connected to all of them, but he could be. You know what's sad? A little while ago, I was watching this booktuber. I was watching one of his videos from a few years ago. So at the end, he was like, well, I guess this is the inception of live action Star Wars TV. I wonder how this Obi-Wan Kenobi show will go. And I was like, the what? Oh, fellas, if people can completely forget that your show exists, that's not a good sign. My cat, by the way, the one I call large one, this morning she decided to climb into the pantry. I don't know why. Everything was packaged. She couldn't eat everything. But she climbs into the pantry, sits on the rack, and starts sniffing all the crackers. I just I she could barely fit too. She could barely fit her head under the rack above her. So she had to bend her neck backward like Michelangelo. Her face is like 90% cheek too. It's not the only thing she does, but another her crafting streams that I like are cottontails. Like she's done her painting stream, or once she built Legos with guest Fillion. And it wasn't something I ever like thought you could do on stream, but it was really fun, and I would really like it if other people wanted to do that with me. I remember once seeing another commenter say basically, Chibi is younger sibling simulator. If you're like a person and you don't have any younger siblings, this is what it's like. And yeah, actually, as an older sibling, she's like when my younger siblings are being loud and yelling at the top of their lungs, all of those moments rolled together is like Chibi. I feel like if we ever did a collab, I would be like, Chibi, chill out, Chibi, go this way. Chibi, relax. Like trying to babysit. I made chicken tortilla soup this week, and it was really delicious. It wasn't something I'd ever done before, but it was surprisingly easy. It turns out chicken is really easy to cook, and shredding it isn't really hard. I didn't want to actually fry tortillas because I felt like that's a lot of work. But I got tortilla chips to eat it with, and it was really tasty. It's really warm. Another thing that happened was I had to send a very important email today. And after sending it, I was like, phew, I don't have to worry about that for a little while. And then, like, literally a minute later, I check my email again and I've got a response. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm freaking out. What if they're mad? What if they're saying, Avery, what are you doing? Stop. So I procrastinated about it for like an hour, which for me is not a lot of time, but it is for most people. And when I finally work up the courage to go back, all it says is, thank you, Avery. And I'm a little bit frightened by this because it's such a simple response, but I feel like that's just like social anxiety talking. I think it's like less scary than I thought it would be. The person was just like, "Oh, that's cool, thanks." And I thought that was really interesting because I've had like similar worries about like going out and trying new things, but a lot of times it's turned out to not be as scary as I thought it would be. There's ear number two, a slightly scragglier carrot. I think we'll do at least one arm. You know what's strange? I actively avoid Funko Pops because they frighten me with their giant eyes. And yet, for some reason, YouTube has been pushing me this ad about how there's new Funko Pops at a store near me. And I'm like, what is this? Did I summon this into existence by not liking it, or do they just have a lot of advertising money? 6 around. Oh, it decreased already. The small cat, he eats like everything. My mom says it's because he's teething, but it reminds me of when little kids put everything in their mouth because they don't know any better. When they just pick up like a marble and try to eat it. Huh. Solid chunk of. I think you just do four for a while. Okay. I'm gonna need like a pencil to stuff the arms when I'm done, but they should look really cute. I think if I hold these up to the body, I can see how long they'll need to be. The pattern doesn't seem to have printed entirely properly. The body is here, sits up like this, and you attach them around here, and the arms need to be touching the ground. Yeah, it's around where the Golgi, where this happens. I can probably check the exact row too. No, it just says place them between the feet. Well, Okay. Okay, that should be long enough. I didn't count exactly how many rows this was, but I think I can just time off of it the same length. Where did I put my scissors? Or if I should I'll pin it here for now and we can adjust later. Is that too long? Although it needs to get over the bump. I think I'll undo some of this. Maybe a little too long. Forgot that I tied this off all the way. Well, I can always sew it. Okay, that's better. Oh, you do look like little cat paws. Thing I also really like about watching Cottontail is, at least on stream, she comes across really calm and confident. Maybe she's like internally panicking. Like that's not an insult that just happens. But it's sort of comforting in a way because it's like, oh, she's a streamer. She's doing this thing I want to do, and she's just doing it. She's chill talking with her friends. We probably all have like worries once we're on our own, like behind closed doors. But it's it's really cool to see someone doing the thing that I wanna do and just being like, "This is what I'm doing." It just is. My mom was ordering groceries recently, and she saw G Fuel, and she was like, "Wait, that's real?" And me and my brothers were really confused. So she explained that for a long time, when we would mention, like, G Fuel and gamers and stuff, Hudson One of my brothers, he's had the same online name since we were kids. Every once in a while I slip up, but he was saying, like, I call Gerald to Rivia gamer gamer Gerald with G Fuel, and this whole time you thought we were making that up, and it turns out she thought we were joking, and we had to be like, "No, this is actual caffeinated beverage that gamers drink so they can stay up playing League of Legends or whatever." Maybe I could make this a little shorter, but I think it's the right length. Here, they look pretty much even. We can make the feet. And then I think we'll be done for the day. The feet are so tiny. It's cool that the Elden Ring DLC is going to be coming out on the summer solstice. I don't know if that was planned, but that would be cool. I was thinking about starting to read The Witcher. It's something my brothers really likes, and I don't know a lot about it, but I'm curious. Hold on. Okay. That's 1 foot. We're leaving a tail so that we can sew it on later. I think next time we'll get to start making the mane. It looks fun. I wonder if there's a lot of crossover between FromSoft fans and fans of history and mythology, because even if the references aren't always direct, they're very clearly inspiring games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Something else I was telling my brother is I think it could be interesting to have a story that takes place in a like a FromSoft-esque world where everything is kind of destroyed and there's like monsters running around and a bunch of evil people or sad people because they're going through a lot of problems. And I'm not the biggest fan of action. I'm not sure if I would want it to be an action story, but it could be interesting to write a story where you're like going around healing people and like the Scarlet Rot in Elden Ring, for example, finding a cure or a treatment for that we can use more often, and generally going around and making the world a really better, happier place. And I don't know if I'll use that for one of my stories, but it sounds like something that could be really cool. It could be fun to like specifically differentiate it from soft games in that way because they're obviously very focused on action. That's part of the appeal. That's just what they want to do. But it's not necessarily what I want to do, so we could make it more about, like, healing people with medicine or about finding, like, better leaders. or like fixing buildings or nature that have been destroyed and solving things that way. Second foot. Okay, we can start picking up now. Maybe I should pin the arms on more strongly, so they don't fall off in my bag. Should tie that off. Second. Second. Okay. We're gonna leave this tail here again so we can tie it on, sew it on later. Okay, there we go. And that should be it for today.